FM. Fouad, as I said earlier, should be joining us in just a few minutes as we begin to dissect the papers. I think we can open the discourse with the president's Christmas message. Yes, peace, unity, and well, in the midst of all of this, we still have the NLC that is rejecting the unfair taxation. But I think we can start the conversation around religious freedom as we celebrate Christmas. He's emphasizing the effort of the government to ensure that there is religious freedom and nobody should be persecuted for their beliefs, and hopefully Nigeria. Christmas, how are you today?
Merry Christmas to you, Sage, and all our listeners out there who are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. We are celebrating, we are also at work, so we are hoping that chickens will be chicken.
Who is the chicken going to come from? Let's verify that information first.
Chickens will come, don't worry.
From who now? From where?
You just stay calm, don't worry.
No, sorry. I've told you, I'll be treating you like House of Rep member. Throughout this period, I'll treat you like a House of Rep member. So you must don't just tell us things are getting better. In what ways? Or chickens? Who is supplying?
Honestly, don't worry. You don't worry about that. Just stay calm and believe. Have hope.
Admonish Nigerians, most importantly, to have religious tolerance. Let's love each other regardless of the religion that we practice. And he also emphasized the effort of the government in ensuring religious freedom. So it doesn't really matter what you believe in. We are a relationship that we have here, especially at Mainland FM. Nobody really cares. If you like worship songs, that's your business. As long as you're a good person, as long as they're a good person, they are likable, they're friendly,
religious leaders, influencers who are helping to also push this narrative. I agree with the president completely. So I celebrate Christmas to further preach the need for us to live in peace and harmony amongst ourselves, despite our religious differences. I also helping to push this narrative of us to, tolerate our the naysayers, the anarchists amongst us would always use these things to divide us, but we must not allow it to succeed. So because I've seen, for example, religion brings Christmas food. Mm-hmm. Collect it, eat it. There's nothing wrong with it. And for those of you who think, based on your religious beliefs, there's something wrong with eating and narratives of to collect rights from a Christian, there's a problem. Just the same way on Ileya Day, when Muslims are celebrating that, where families come together, friends come together. Like we always say in Yoruba land, Sage, and like people must have seen, there's hardly any family in this southwest. It's just in your own family, and you will not see somebody who is a Muslim and someone who is a Christian. And you find that people come together as a Muslim.
You actually don't have any problem for outside. I wish we had more people. So I'm sure
you must have given you
morning and cook food for the people who are fasting. When my Christmas ram, in fact, we don't cook on Ileya because we know meats will come, and then that's when we make sauce like that. We're people first, and let's just love each other. I don't see what the problem is, honestly. But then again, that's why the president is emphasizing it. Let's allow people practice their religion. Let's love each other as people. Let's forget about all of these other sentiments, right? Let's just see people as people. So ensuring you that they care about you as their neighbors.
And if you don't want the right, just give it to someone who wants to share. Share amongst your neighbors. Give people that don't appreciate it.
For outside, corruption is masking.
What's happening?
However, one number that has stayed consistent is 7 to 8. Unfortunately, there were indeed casualties, and the projected number of dead is about 7 to 8 based on different newspapers. They don't know if some accounts say it was a suicide bomber, and some say the bomb was already in the mosque, and it ripped through that mosque. Muslim faithfuls were, of course, at the mosque praying, and there are many injured, with about 7 to 8 suspected to be dead. There's no group that has taken responsibility for this bombing, but Fouad, is such a sad way to start the day.
Again, to show that Nigeria's fight against terrorism is real, while they were worshipping yesterday evening. Again, we don't have a compliance. People have lost their lives as a result of what you can call that suicide bombing or bombing, whatever it is, a bomb receiving treatment. Again, we're going to continue to have things like this because, again, the fight against this kind of challenge, against their country and their people. So we sympathize with the families of whom we have lost their lives. Do more in this fight against insurgents. They are going to start to attack soft targets. Siege. That's always the idea. Again, we are seeing by the Nigerian military the tendency is that they now begin to attack soft targets. Schools, markets, mosques, with intelligence gathering. Stop these attacks before they happen. That's why we are also calling on the government to do more, invest more money in the area of intelligence gathering, new technology, so that again we can continue to keep our people safe.
Well, Fuad, speaking of safety, Benue also suffered a terrible loss, as the Vanguard is reporting that no fewer than 5 persons died following a fresh attack by suspected armed herders at Ngwugu Aze Yogbo Road in Guma local government area of Benue. Sources are indicating that the death toll could rise as numerous residents are still missing, and youths in the area are conducting a search operation in the nearby. Terrible injuries in this community in Benue State. Fuad.
Very sad. These reports keep coming. We're still seeing abductions. We're still seeing these attacks on communities. And this is one that has been reported again from Benue State. Yeah. So when these reports come, it's not for us to live in denial about it or to begin to look for who to blame. As a national security advisor, a lot of work for the new defense minister. I will not talk about the Minister of State for Defense, because clearly he's unfit for that position. So I'm going to continue to exclude him from our conversations when it comes. We'll continue to call on the president to get someone for that job. Yes, there are enough facts, allegations, and stories around the fact that, look, it should a wake-up call again for our security operatives to do more, to stop these attacks from happening. Kwara State, we are still getting reports of attacks in part of Kwara. Two states is not completely safe from these attacks. So the north-central part of the country, governments do more to protect people in that region. Very unfortunate, but again, it's just what it is.
Very unfortunately, on the front covers of our dailies, and as we're celebrating Christmas, it's important that we highlight the reality of Nigerians in certain places. And it's really, really sad that as the rest of the world is celebrating, they are in mourning. And hopefully our security operatives are able to get ahead. Anybody in Maiduguri or in Benue State, the parts that are badly affected with Nigeria, says EFCC chair, and continues to hold the country back from attaining its full corruption in order to unlock national prosperity and strength. According to him, corruption remains a major comment. He says in our to allow the abundant life of God manifest in our nation. Because I was on X, or formerly known as Twitter, yesterday, and there's this girl who think the fuel is going into your car, but it's not. You'll be measuring and you'll be looking at the screen thinking that you're measuring, but that it does. They know how to gauge it such that you pay for fuel around people who sell rice, for example, who sell per derika. They would manipulate the derika, they would stuff it, and they will sell less to you, and you will sell rice for your neighbor. Are you not all in the same bracket for outside?
The same bracket, people who buy fuel from a filling station, if given the opportunity as a governor, will do bigger things. So because it's the same mentality, of stealing people's money different. These other guys have opportunities to steal bigger money. You steal a lesser money, but stealing is stealing, really. There are no definitions to stealing other than the fact that, look, people are stealing our money. And to the EFCC chairman saying that, look, corruption seems to be the problem. He's not saying anything. For the few countries I've traveled to, something keeps coming to my mind. Nigeria is a blessed country. In fact, if you look, I have friends who are in Canada now. Look at the weather. I'm sure you've seen what Canadians are going through at this time. Look, you know what it means to live. How heavy it is snowing and the cold. They practically cannot even leave their houses to go anywhere. And from my conversations with them, they say, look, the only time they have good weather is just about 4 months in a year. See, just about 4 months really in a year. The rest they have to battle with wind, cold, snow, and all of that. But somehow you have a government in these countries, who are still able to ensure good living for their people. They see the challenges. We are blessed. The weather is so good. I don't think there's anything like tornado or hurricane affecting us here. We have arable land. It means that we can actually feed ourselves. If we are serious about Arabia, they talk about Qatar, they talk about Kuwait, they talk about Bahrain, they talk about the UAE. And what is that God-given resources that has turned things around for those countries? Crude oil. We have it too. In fact, we are the 6th largest oil producing nation in the world. Number 1 in sub-Saharan Africa. Sage, beyond crude oil, we also have solid minerals. We have gold, we have lithium, we have bitumen, 44 solid minerals scattered across different parts of the country. We also have the capacity to give direction to drive through economic development and prosperity. So where is about it? I told Okoyemi on Media Politics yesterday. We see these things, Sage, even though we pretend about it, we deceive ourselves about it. We see politicians who, before getting into power, were practically nothing economically, financially. In fact, some of them were not to be able to contest. And today, those people, after maybe 6 years in power and whatever in politics, have become stupendously rich. We knew people who are politicians today who tell us that, look, as we know that, but today, these are billionaires in dollars, Sage. And they say, that's why you see, don't you see, when they appoint somebody, what do you think it's all about? The person is going there to go and serve. And then you see, wow, Allah was to reorientate our people. One of my guys will say there's a need for us to do a mind surgery on all Nigerians. We need to reorientate ourselves, do a mind surgery. The problem is that where are the surgeons? That's the big question. Where are the surgeons that can do this mind surgery? Well, this mind where I see, to do a mind surgery to correct the thinking of corruption is in our system. Political corruption, corporate corruption, systemic corruption, look crazy. So when you see people who deceive themselves, we just laugh. People who came into politics with nothing practically, today they own big hotels, generally because it's still under investigation. Yeah. But look at the assets that have been traced to just one person. And so we ask ourselves, and those are just individuals, so it is widespread across all states, across all local governments at the federal level. Corruption is widespread, and until there's a resolve, a national resolve for us to fight corruption and kill it, I doubt if any.
The more participation, the better your chances of winning all the goodies that we have for you.
I need airtime.
For what? For outside? For what? This is what we are talking about. We're talking about corruption.
Corruption.
This is corruption that we're talking about. Corruption.
I said it openly. I didn't come behind.
It's corruption.
Give it to you. I said I need it openly. How is it corruption?
It's corruption. Because why do you want to win something on your own station? Please.
I said it openly now. No, I'm actually begging for it.
No, this is corruption. Join the live stream. Participate so that we can see your participation. It's going to be at random. So join the live stream right now at mainland 98.3 FM. For still speaking on corrupt, the ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government recorded. I need a minute. Recorded 0 in the ethics and integrity of the zeros.
What was the thing again? The ICPC's what?
I'm so sorry. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and 12 other ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government.
Do we have the list?
Recorded, they gave us like a number.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Recorded 0 in the ethics and integrity compliance scorecard of the independent corrupt practices and other related offenses. Now, according to this but there's tears coming out of my eyes right now, and I know that this is wrong, but I'm so sorry.
Charge of the commonwealth of the people, and their
pillars indicate. However, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission was the highest upstream. Yes, they actually were the highest rated agency. They scored about 91.83. The Nigerian Upstream at the ICPC, the Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard, was conceived as a diagnostic and accountability assessment here. The EICs were deployed across 360 target MDAs. About 3 were exempted from the exercise. So ultimately 359 use to determine the compliance and integrity rate of these ministries, departments, and agencies. And only 48 of all the over 300 that were screened even had the last of everything. What?
0%.
Yeah.
Thing.
Across board.
You know, there are some that it's like there was really none of them really that I think scaled through the 50% mark from what you read out now.
Yeah, except
so
the PRC.
Mr. Abayo usually needs to come and explain the problem.
But he just
zero.
He just got there now.
He just got there, and so
he just around 0%. But I mean, come on, what? Zero. Come on. Like at least even if it's 10%.
You know that the overall is called zero. On all the 4 metrics, the first was 0 too.
What? At least.
So they take through for ethics, integrity, and compliance.
Yes.
In over, they scored 0 across board, all through. So I say, if it's your child, God forbid. you know there are some exams you fail. They will tell you advice to withdraw.
It is well.
You know there are some schools they will tell you advice to withdraw. Don't bother. But you know there are some that in this case, this one is not only advice to withdraw. This one will be banning you from coming to whoever. For real, because again, why we should take this seriously is that we are talking about the custodian, the institution that is in charge, that runs, that manages the commonwealth of the nation. Are you now surprised that all this while, when they even call me Kyari, I am coming, I'm not coming, he appears before the Joint Committee of National Assembly, he doesn't bring free. Sage, I thought that if there's a low-hanging fruit for the EFCC to work on and quickly get going on it, so it's just unfortunate that we are in this mess. Check the operations of the NNPC against a company like Aramco in Saudi Arabia. And you understand why we should take this seriously. But it's there for Nigerians to see. We've been saying it. Thank God it's a report by the ICPC. 0 upon 0. See, very unfortunate.
It's not funny. It's actually, if you think about it critically, it's something that.
When it gets to a point up ahead, you just
zero across all metrics, like 0, nothing.
NNPC.
This is the organization that majorly controls the mainstay of the economy, right?
Of the economy,
and they're scoring
across all metrics of integrity, compliance.
0.
They're scoring 0.
Wow.
Last on the list.
Very, very well, great. At least, as you said, this is the ICPC because there'll be the narrative of it's opposition that's trying to paint them bad. This is the ICPC. This is
the corruption within the NNPC. 36 years down the line, almost 30-something years down the line, we are still talking about the same story. Can you now understand why our refineries should never work? Can you now understand why we will never have accountability at that?
Well, Fuatai, let's move on to other stories. You can read that in the Punch newspaper if you want more details. Tinubu cannot stop tax law, says Oyedele. Lawyers disagree. The chairman of the presidential asked and gazetted. He said this in reaction to the calls for the suspension of the tax laws following the allegations that trailed them while appearing on a television program. Fuatai, that Oyedele is telling us that this is a law that has been passed, and so the president does not calls for the suspension of the tax laws in January. It's not something that would happen. So, Fuatai, if they're telling us that the president cannot just by fiat now say,
he's a lawyer.
Well,
he's a tax man now. He should just keep himself where he is. We understand how excited he is to get this forgotten. Was it not his committee that got about 5 billion to draft this law? I think that bill. So we understand how excited he is as a tax man to get this law implemented. In fact, he's not the only one. All tax experts, tax consultants are happy now because they are going to get majority of the job. When your tax filings come, they are the ones that will do it for you. They are going to be consultants to big companies. So it's a big job for them. We know how excited they are. This is bigger than just watching it through. He should understand that he's done a part of his job, what he has been paid to do. But he must also understand that we're a country governed by law. And we can't rush through an illegality. That's what we are saying. If there's a House of Reps committee investigating whether there were alterations or not, look, to say the president does not have the power to stop it, but the president has got the power to implement it. What is he saying? Not implemented. Like I said, beyond the fact that he was handsomely paid, heavily paid, in fact, over. So he's got the job, he's done the job, but we are saying that, look, why do we have a law that was passed by the National Assembly, harmonized by the National Assembly, transmitted to the president for access, only for us to see and hear that a gazetted copy has gotten a number of alterations that seems to give unbridled excessive power to the executive side from the courts and the National Assembly have all been expunged from the law, and so we should just implement it like that. Is that what Mr. Oyedepo is saying? We know that it's good job for them as tax experts. They are going to be the consultants to the big companies, to individuals who are going to be having to be filed by law. We must know everything in accordance to the law. So if it is true that there were alterations, it is not only to ensure that the writing is done, we also must ensure that whoever did it at whatever level must be held accountable. We can't be able to overlook it. Is that what Mr. Oyedepo is telling us? Let's conclude the investigation and know where we are. Why do we have to rush through with it?
Well, for our side, we have to go. He did, highlight that nobody can debit your account without a court order, amongst other things, in an attempt to defend the alleged alterations. But as you said,
the alterations are saying otherwise. So let's get to the root of it. That's what we are saying.
Right. Well, we need to go briefly, so I'll just read the rest of these headlines. Davido joins Uncle Adeleke 3,000 megawatts.
I think it should be 3,000.
No.
Increase tariff, band A, band B, band A.
To go. We don't have time to read through the rest of the headlines. It's Open Mic Thursday. We'll be back. Stay with us. Mainland 98.3 FM. Thank you so much for our time, for your analysis.